Here's justice for me, Bernard James Zomsick, my mom, Wanda Francis Zomsick, my dad, Bernard Alfred Zomsick. Years ago, I had a $200,000 house at 5430 Lucky Lane. My brother, Gary Bernard Zomsick, and his psycho girlfriend, Patty Clover Chateau Redinger, wanted my house. I worked for a criminal called Chad Hershey. He's well known in Erie, Pennsylvania for not paying his signs. He was on Fox 66 News, forging signatures to get elected as school board and causing a fire at 2217 Peach Street to collect insurance fraud money. He didn't pay me over $10,000. I went to the labor board and district justice. I got nothing for doing that. He said I heard his name. He went to State Farm and lied to State Farm. Criminals like Nancy Hanks and Daryl Knight, they believed my brother because he had a high position at Weber Murphy Fox. And because of this, all the stress killed my mom. My brother, Gary Bernard Zomsick, who God punished later on, and he died at 49 years old. His crazy psycho, let's call her a whore friend, Patty Clover Chateau Redinger, who was sleeping with Buzzy Redinger when my brother was dying of cancer in the hospital. Then after she killed him, she stole his millions. She also got all my brother's money that me and my mom were supposed to get, almost $500,000 in assets. But because of the crooked, phony ghost hunt of Erie, PA, nothing happened to them. They were the good guys. My dad, Bernard Alfred Zomsick, built a ghost town before his morning coffee. He started at the age of 5 selling absinthe when people got off the bus in New York City. Time he was 11, he was building furniture better than Ethan Allen. Time he was 16, he said to me that he did so much work he could have retired, but instead that he wanted to join the Navy, but he had to be 17 to join the Navy. From 17 to 21, he was all over the world in the United States Navy, building ships for chiefs, boats, huge lookout towers in the Persian Gulf, measuring the water in the Persian Gulf. Arnold will be discharged before his 21st birthday. After that, he worked in all over the United States, all over the world, like I said, and he built Erie, PA before his morning coffee. I was his best buddy. He said I just knew a little of the work. He built motel after motel, Peninsula Motel, because he wasn't a phony with like Nick Scott, Art Baldwin, Erie Insurance, or all those other hardworking slime balls in the ghost town that steal legitimate loans because they're hard workers, because the other phonies are hard workers with pens up their ass, sitting behind a desk. They could steal a legitimate loan, but my dad couldn't get a legitimate loan. He went all over, had a lawyer drop a small business loan in Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York. They said, no, it's not going to go good in the winter. It's going to be slow. He had to borrow next $80,000 beneath the table. He missed one payment, and the crooked phonies, sheriff, ghost towner stole it 1 second after midnight. And that's like a 15,000 square foot motel they tore down because the ghost town police said it was an eyesore. They didn't get enough kickbacks from it. Mill Creek police. So all the ghost towners, Mill Creek police, State Farm, Detective Rogers, Gary Rogers, And all the phonies at 5430 Lucky Lane, neighbors, were beyond jealous of my dad, who also named Lucky Lane because he felt lucky. He built Glowing Estates before his morning coffee, not Bondi and Stone. They didn't know what a nail looked like. My dad made those Jews rich, just like every other Jew in the ghost town area, PA. And all because of the perfect storm of the ghost town, their jealous neighbors, Gary and Patty and Chad Hershey, all my phony relatives, Dorothy Parson, Sylvie Sokolowski, Eugene Sokolowski, Shelley Sokolowski, Rod Brandon, Emily Brandon, all the ghost towners are in cahoots, and the phonies charged us with insurance fraud. Caused so much stress from my mom. She had a heart attack and eventually died 8 years later. Nothing happened to the ghost towners. Chad Hershey, I worked for, like I said, he owed me over $10,000 in landscaping. He came after me twice with the axe. He said I was his personal slave. He didn't pay anyone. When they did pay me one check, I bought him McDonald's, and it went all towards breakfast. He said the house is way over my head. I had a Mitsubishi 3000 GT. He said it's way over my head. And the most beautiful is blonde in Erie, PA. He said it was way over my head. He said, you can come live with us. And I told him I want my money. That's why I worked, and he wouldn't pay me still. So all the ghost towners in Erie, PA, Gary Bernard Zomzik, Patty Clover, Chateau Redinger, all the ghost towners, jealous neighbors, they called the police on me every time because they were so boiling with jealousy. Mr. Esposito, Klingen Smith next to him, they all were beyond jealous of me. Egged my house after I painted it, many of them. And I found out, and I took them to the district justice. Like I said, Sylvie Sokolowski, Eugene Sokolowski, Shelley Sokolowski, Dorothy Parson, Harry Parson, son of Kathy Parsons, her dad and mom. Only God knows who else said lies about us. Rod Brandon, Emily Brandon, they passed away, and God finally punished them. They were beyond jealous of my dad to get back at us. Their jealousy spilled over. So what they never knew was Gary Bernard Zomzik and Patty Clover Chateau Redinger robbed the house. Chad Hershey said he went over there after Patty Clover Redinger burned her nail and meat salon down to steal a house, that she's not finished with us. She's going to try to scare us out of the neighborhood. That should be our house. And my dad hated her. He would never even look at her, let alone spit on her. So to get back at us, they set us up for insurance fraud. They stole everything. I told the police that. They said, yeah, they did it. But the phony Mill Creek police thought I told them to do that. And I never was talking to my brother, Gary Bernard Zomzik, or Patty Clover, Chateau Redinger, because they were mad at me for putting my name on the house. And I didn't talk to them. So how could I tell them to rob anything? Smoke signals? They got nothing. My brother finally died. God punished him. And hopefully Patty Clover Redinger Chateau will be punished. And all the other jealous phonies, slime balls, tumbleweeders of the fishy, froggy, slimy piece of shit ghost town, Erie, PA. Yeah, they got away with murder and lived a good life until God gets them. And I had a $200,000 house stolen. My mom died of distress from a heart attack. My dad, they killed. All the work he did, he should have been the richest person in the world. But the ghost town didn't want to see him make it because they couldn't believe how one man, Bernard Alfred Zomzik, did all that work. He built motel after motel, subdivision after subdivision, $1 million houses. This one house for attorney Harry Martin out west in Pacific Palisades, California, where Benny Hinn had a 6,500 square foot house. Selling it for Benny Hinn was selling it 6,500 square foot house for $10 million. So my dad built a $10 million house out west. There's a motel out west, 15,000 square feet, be like $30 million. But yet I suffered in misery and torture and was homeless, walking the streets, crying, bleeding, throwing my stuff in the dumpsters, ringworm, bronchitis, couldn't stop coughing, 30 pounds I lost in 2 months, only drank water, food poisoning, bloody, puffy, bleeding, blisters all over my body, crying. And the ghost town was set free. This is just the beginning. The big boys are going to be picking up my story. And like Tony Montana said, every dog has a day. My day is coming. This is the beginning. God bless.